The powerful Zenith Alliance, a group of highly developed extraterrestrial creatures, had expanded its power over innumerable star systems for which they were renowned. Their devastating efficiency and brutality, cultures, and taking in their resources without hesitation, their superiority was uncontested. Their technology was unmatched, and their strategies were honed over decades of conquest. When they looked back, they moved in the direction of Earth, anticipating a simple victory. Humanity was just another backward species, one that would undoubtedly give up when confronted with such overwhelming strength. The invasion was decided upon without much thought. Earth would be a swift conquest, merely mentioned as a footnote in the lengthy history of dominance in Zenith. As the Zenith invasion's initial wave fell on Earth, the effect was instantaneous and destructive. Their vessels, large and brimming, with sophisticated weapons, breached Earth's defenses. Cities easily collapsed under the unrelenting fire, and the skies scorched with the alien engine's fire. Humanity was taken by surprise by the sheer magnitude and intensity of the assault. It found it difficult to put up a strong defense. As communication networks faltered, military personnel discovered that the armaments of Zenith were superior to those of Earth. They came into contact with energy beams, cutting through the atmosphere with deadly accuracy. In the face of such destruction, the first reaction was ill-prepared. Local authorities and military forces rushed to defend what they could, but against the synchronized assault of the Zenith, these endeavors appeared futile. As the invaders moved, they were horrified by their conquest's surgical precision. In the midst of the pandemonium, one person appeared who would alter the course of the fight: General Samantha Hayes. In military circles, Hayes was renowned for her unorthodox tactics and astute intelligence. Hayes promptly evaluated the situation and saw that Earth's conventional methods would lead to inevitable loss. The Zenith Alliance was too strong and well-coordinated for a traditional defense, particularly in situations where others would have only doom. Hayes recognized a chance. She realized that the Zenith's very self-assurance in their superiority could be turned against them. Filled with possibilities, she started to create a scheme to take advantage of the one benefit humanity still maintained: forecasting. General Hayes suggested a plan that would use guerrilla strategies, utilizing Earth's varied landscapes and surroundings to their benefit. Instead of confronting the Zenith face-to-face, they would disrupt supply lines, disappearing before the Zenith could react. She promoted the usage of the internet and communication logistics, turning their own technologies against them. This strategy was unconventional and hazardous, but it leveled the playing field. With unwavering resolve, Hayes gathered the last of Earth's forces, putting together a defense that was as persistent as it was inventive. The world was still in shock over the first attack, but with Hayes as their captain, they began to retaliate. The initial counteroffensive, led by General Hayes, was a discovery for Earth's forces. They hit the Zenith with a renewed sense of purpose, launching unexpected assaults on strategic Zenith locations, creating chaos and misunderstanding within their ranks. Cyber operatives concurrently breached Zenith's communication networks, supplying them with inaccurate information and interfering with their synchronization. For the first time since the start of the invasion, the Zenith Alliance encountered opposition they couldn't easily overcome. Their self-assurance started to falter as humanity, they discovered, was far from the simple prey they had presumed. The tide was turning, and the planet was no longer merely protecting itself. It was preparing to battle the enemy. The forces of Earth quickly realized the worth of the outdated technology possessed by the Zenith. What originally seemed like insurmountable odds began to shift as scientific and military teams worked together to reverse engineer the alien tech captured from the invaders. Around the clock, scientists analyzed the cutting-edge weapons and techniques, revealing secrets that once appeared beyond human comprehension. Soon, Earth integrated this alien technology into their arsenal, resulting in hybrid weapons that combined human ingenuity with Zenith might. The first effective use of these weapons startled all sides on the battlefield. Suddenly, humanity had the upper hand, with weapons capable of severing Zenith armor and deflecting their strongest assaults. The playing field had been leveled, providing Earth's forces with renewed confidence. Equipped with these modern instruments, Earth's forces increased their use of guerrilla warfare strategies. They disrupted supply lines, hit convoys, and targeted deep-seated command centers. These swift attacks were launched into enemy territory, vicious and unrelenting. The Zenith, who were accustomed to overpowering their adversaries with overwhelming firepower and numbers, were continuously outwitted by Earth's armies. Earth's forces were everywhere and nowhere, appearing from the shadows and fading away before the Zenith could react. The Zenith retaliated with cyber warfare, but Earth's hackers gained access to Zenith's systems, scrambling their communication and even interfering with their automated safeguards. The power of Zenith was immense, but they had never encountered a foe who engaged in combat with such erratic behavior, turning every advantage into a weakness. The powerful Zenith began to falter under the strain, their haughtiness giving way to fear and uncertainty. As the Zenith Alliance struggled, their leaders, once united in war and superiority, began to experience internal conflicts. Some advocated for a more severe approach, while others promoted a planned retreat to reorganize. The longer the dispute lasted, the more it became clear that they were losing control. Earth's forces weren't just holding their ground, they were pushing forward, reclaiming land, and even attacking deep into Zenith-controlled space. What was anticipated to be a swift conquest had become a lengthy conflict. The leadership of Zenith became increasingly divided, their unity fractured. Earth, a wave of optimism and determination, swept over the population. Accounts of human ingenuity defeating Zenith ships spread, inspiring heroes, soldiers, scientists, and authorities alike, who stood defiant against the invaders. As the tide continued to turn, humanity's morale, once focused solely on survival, now centered on triumph. With renewed purpose, Earth's forces exerted more pressure on the Zenith Alliance. Their most destructive weapons were unleashed in an attempt to regain control. They used rockets capable of cracking planets, orbital strikes that scorched the surface, and bioweapons meant to destroy populations. These strategies were becoming more vicious, targeting civilian infrastructure and causing widespread suffering. But despite the destruction, humanity's resolve only solidified. Earth's forces became increasingly determined, their tenacity unmatched, in the face of Zenith's immense power. The invaders' brutality failed to break Earth's spirit. With unflinching tenacity, humanity continued to fight back. Battles became pivotal moments in the conflict, where human resourcefulness and willpower outmatched the brute might of the Zenith. Take, for example, the Battle of New Horizon. The city was about to be destroyed, but a last-minute defense mechanism, salvaged from alien technology and human innovation, saved the day. Humanity, with all its ingenuity and determination, was turning the tide of the war. The Zenith had underestimated their enemy, and now they were paying the price. Earth's forces managed to hold out against a far more powerful adversary, employing the landscape and guerrilla warfare to their edge, causing significant losses on the Zenith before taking the wheel. General Hayes played a vital role in their return, maintaining a positive attitude despite her worst hours, forcing her to continue to innovate and stay ahead of the curve. Prior to the invaders, she emerged as the representation of the battling spirit of Earth. Her tactics were changing the tide in conflicts that appeared to be lost. Earth's experts discovered something that would turn out to be a revolution in relentless warfare. Through investigation and analysis, they discovered a significant flaw in Zenith technology, an unnoticed weakness in the energy matrix that drove their most sophisticated weaponry and shields. Scientists also uncovered a biological susceptibility in the Zenith species itself, one that could break their unity on the battlefield. This revelation drastically changed the power dynamics. Acknowledging the strategic significance of this newly acquired knowledge, General Hayes swiftly came up with a bold idea: a forceful attack against the Zenith's main command center or fleet, making use of the identified vulnerability to turn off their defenses and deliver a devastating strike. Although this plan was dangerous, it could end the conflict in a single blow. Taking decisive steps to reverse the situation in a manner the invaders never anticipated, Earth's forces started to assemble for what would be the decisive conflict. Preparations were made throughout the world, gathering the last resources of humanity for the full-scale attack. Engineers and soldiers adjusted their weaponry, and leaders provided remarks to motivate their soldiers for the upcoming conflict. On the Zenith side, uneasiness grew as they readied themselves for the inevitable. Both parties were aware this conflict would decide the destiny of Earth and the Zenith's future. Friction was noticeable within the Zenith Alliance. The last moments were filled with anticipation as the storm closed in. The clash exploded, with Earth's forces launching a carefully planned attack against the Zenith Alliance's reinforced locations in space and on the ground. Massive fleets flashed across the sky, now in orbit with the ships of Earth, supported by aliens with reverse-engineered technology. Fighting like vicious dogs facing the powerful armada of Zenith, Earth's armed soldiers rushed into Zenith's strongholds. The battle was enormous, extending across continents and into the sky. In the initial phases, Earth's forces had both achievements and failures. Initially, strikes were able to penetrate several of Zenith's defenses, yet the adversary swiftly reorganized, utilizing their dominance in technology. The conflict teetered on the brink, triumphantly dangling in equilibrium as both sides released everything they had in a last-ditch effort. The turning point for domination